Hey, this show's presented by Manscaped. Have I ever mentioned that before?
No.
Damn.
That's odd.
Well, it has been for a while. It's unfortunate we never got the message out there.
Yeah.
Go to manscaped.com/dangle to receive 20% off your next purchase. And what, gentlemen? Free shipping! Yeah! Now here's a free intro to the podcast.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Canada's Sportsbook.
SDP. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
I hate to be the I told you so guy. Actually, no, I don't. I love to be the I told you so guy. What did I say? What did I say about Jamie Benn? Excuse me. Jordy Ben.
Balls.
I said Jordy Ben.
Sorry, about him specifically.
Future Norris winner at 35, Jordy Ben.
You ever just have Jordy Ben miss the first month of the season due to injury, immediately insert him onto the top pair, and it works great?
Leafs have.
What the hell?
Man, we found the guy. We found the guy. That's the guy.
There he is. Yeah, sure.
It's like Luke Shen playing with Quinn Hughes in Vancouver. For whatever reason, it just works.
Yeah. Just not the rest of it, but yeah.
No, but that pairing works, okay?
Sure.
So, listen. I wasn't kidding when I was saying in Vancouver, like against Vancouver, he was awesome. Mm-hmm. Last night, awesome again.
He straight up stopped Crosby from scoring twice in one play. Got a primary assist, like a ballsy primary assist too. Like he could have got picked off for a 2-on-1 easily. There.
Yeah.
Except he breezed the puck by Jake Gensel, who was a shocking -5.
Oh my God. Bad night.
He was on for every single goal.
Every single
goal. Is Jake
goal.
Gensel bad at defense?
It's not something that I'm aware of, but like if you go and watch, like you could point at something he could have maybe done on every single goal.
Right.
And then what was the other thing Jordy Ben?
Oh, he was in on the 2-on-1 and almost scored.
Like late in a shift, shorthanded? Who is this person?
Should have made the extra pass, but we can't fault him for that.
Well, listen, he should have. And
Kerfoot.
And Alex Kerfoot should not.
Kerfoot would have made the second extra pass.
You think he would have passed it back again?
100%.
Kerfoot does not want to shoot anymore.
Because, Kerfoot was in alone, and the defenseman fell, and Kerfoot's like, I'm going to pass it.
No, let's
thank
go to
God
Tavares.
the Leafs won.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
No, Kerfoot was not on his game
Now,
last night.
I do want to talk about some Leaf stories associated with this, but I think our buddy Mikey Stevens tweeted this before Pittsburgh scored 2 goals, so we kind of deserved it. This is Mike. By the way, the reason they scored the 2 goals is because Mikey sent that tweet, so make sure you tell him.
Way to go, shithead. Shithead 81.
Are the Pittsburgh Penguins just bad now?
They don't look like they're imposters. They don't look like the Pittsburgh Penguins at all. And it's a crisis, frankly. Like, okay, so the Penguins weren't doing great, and the Leafs weren't doing great at the same time, and it's like, why aren't we talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins? Well, that's a bad faith question, so I refuse to answer it. But now that they continue to be bad while the Leafs are recovering, let's talk about it. It's a crisis that the Pittsburgh Penguins are bad. They doubled down on this core in the offseason, which, to be honest, I didn't think was the worst decision. However,
age was going to catch them at some point, but it doesn't even seem like that's what's happened.
No, they've lost their identity. They were uncharacteristically easy to beat, easy to play against, and soft to
Crosby,
play against.
Malkin, Letang. Yeah. That's your identity. How has that been lost?
Crosby was a -4. The top line got beat in. Crosby was a -4. Rust was a -4 and Gensel was a -5. Letang was a -4. So 2 of the guys we just mentioned were -4. Malkin wasn't because it was against the Leafs. He is incapable of performing poorly against them.
He's great against the Leafs.
Sidney Crosby is Sidney Crosby, and I'm so much more scared of Evgeny Malkin every time.
Yeah.
Because that dude just wrecks shop every time he plays the Leafs. Did he get a point?
I don't know.
I hope not. And if he didn't, victory. It's a double victory.
It's the best you can hope for.
They actually had a victory. That was cool, and also kept him off the score sheet. No, they're baby shit. Like they're way too soft.
So is it that they need to get meaner? Like what is it?
It's an incredibly old lineup, and like I don't want to blame it on that they've just had a lot of years. There's a lot
It's
of
really
players who
ageist
are
of you,
not
Jesse, but okay.
entering their prime, but it's not a lot of players who are at the peak of their skill.
Let me run you through the top salaries on the team, okay?
Sure.
Age-wise. 35, 36, 28, 30, 29. Those are all players on the forwards, on the forward group that are making over $5 million. On the defense, your top 6, 34, 35, 31, 26.
Yeah, man, that's not good. That's really not good. They don't appear to have a true answer in net. Did I see a stat yesterday? Tristan Jarry hasn't won at home.
Yeah, I think you did.
How is that possible? And this is a Ron Hextall, Brian Burke team. Like, supposed to be built from the net out.
Mhm.
They don't appear to have a clear answer in net right now. Their decor doesn't look very good and is aging.
Kasperi Kapanen is getting scratched.
Healthy scratched on a team that's underperforming. Right?
Ooh.
It's actually kind of dire times in Pittsburgh right now. Now, why does Pittsburgh get a pass? Why do we let them slide? Because we've seen them do this before, and they came out of it and didn't just come out of it, won a championship.
Have we seen them do this, though?
This, I don't remember the numbers, but this feels worse than the first Kessel year when we're like, oh, they made a mistake, right?
Your Jarry stat about not winning at home, that's DeSmith who hasn't won at home.
Oh, DeSmith hasn't won
I
at
just
home.
checked the numbers.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's correct.
There you go.
Way to go, idiot.
Yeah. Before, it's because the Pittsburgh fans are going to yell at you.
That's fine.
Okay. Just to correct you before they yell.
Yes. Oh, they're going to.
How
yeah.
will you
Yes.
fight them in
That's
the
okay.
comments before the comments have even been made?
They are like the first non-Leaf fan base we made peace with on this podcast. Like I can't yell at them.
Honestly, that's actually true. Pittsburgh was the first city outside of Toronto that embraced this show.
It's true.
They had a lot of love during their
it's-
cup run years from
You know why?
from that
Crazy.
city.
That hockey hotbed, Tumblr.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Pittsburgh Penguins Tumblr was booming back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get my account back.
Do they allow nudity back on Tumblr? Because they took it away and then everybody left and was upset. And
really
then-
fell off when they dropped the porn.
Yeah, you know what? I'm bummed about that, especially because I can't see Steve's penis anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So
I mean, you were trying to get clout back in the day. You didn't do anything.
under the Steve Dangle hashtag, it would be just men named Steve and also
Dangle.
yeah.
So there were some dicks.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. Anyway, listen.
So anyway, Pornsburg. I meant Dicksburg. I meant wait, what were we talking about?
the thing is
Pittsburgh's
too
old.
Pittsburgh's old, and
Yeah.
and so the thing is the realistic look at this game is that
Wait, sorry. Penguins.
there you go. Thank you. That would have been a 5-1 game had Rasmus Sandin not done what he did.
Or it could have been a 5-3 game if Jordy Ben had allowed Crosby to score.
True.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, I wouldn't have seen so many dicks on Tumblr, Adam.
Now, Jesse texted us as soon as Rasmus coughed up that puck to Sidney Crosby. Now, if there's a player in the league that you don't want to cough up the puck to, it's Sidney Crosby. I'd even say more than McDavid, because here's the thing about Crosby. The guy's clutch. Gold medal, 3 Stanley Cups. The guy knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
He was the best player in the league for 10 years. He might not be anymore, but he's definitely second.
Yeah.
And he's definitely scary. And he, in clutch moments like that, he's going to score. You give that up, you know it's going in.
Yeah.
Jesse, you said he'd done that at least 3 times. Here's the funny thing about you. You went in and found them.
Yeah, so I was
Sandy,
like,
that is.
Sandy's done this before.
Now, what is that?
So he whiffed on the puck and Crosby took and he scored.
Right.
So I was like, there's been at least 2 other times this season where I've seen something boneheaded from Sandin when he's trying to get the puck out of the zone. That I was like, this has happened before with Sandin. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the 2 other times I think this has happened.
Okay.
And it was fairly recently, and that's why it's in my memory, because this wasn't that long ago.
There was one, it was the first minute of the game, and I don't remember who it was against.
The first one I'll bring up is Sandin versus Vegas.
Vegas.
Last week, November 8th, Sandin versus Vegas. The puck's coming to him along the blue line. So this one was in his own zone. The Leafs were in their own zone. He's trying to keep the puck in the zone, and he whiffs. It's the exact same thing that happened last night in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him, but if you'll watch it here, I'm sorry we can't show the video, but if you'll watch it here, he's trying to keep the puck in the zone, and he literally whiffs on it just like last night. This was a week ago to the day that he did it last night. It was last Tuesday, and it led directly to a goal.
He's
The other
so
way for
upright.
Vegas.
His feet are so close together.
And you know what it is too? It's timing. That is timing. You know, like it's knowing where the puck is and where to move your hands at the right time. This guy, you know, when you're a young kid, like Jordy Ben misses most of camp, comes in as still Jordy Ben. When you're somebody Sandin's age, and Jordy Ben, I guess, did play part of camp.
Yeah.
When you're somebody who's Sandin's age, you need camp. And if you're going to hold out for through camp, you better come back and play really well. He held out through camp and then signed for the same amount of money he would have gotten if he'd signed in July.
And
This is tough.
That play there is why TJ Brody is still underrated. And honestly, what Jordy Ben is doing is underrated. Just that little split second play to tip the puck backhand to your forehand, playing as a left-handed shot on the right. The Leafs are forcing him to learn this, and he's failing, frankly. I thought his best game of the season was against the Canucks the other night, and it's because partway through the game they switched him to the left with Liljegren.
And he felt better.
And he felt better. Or was it the Canucks or Penguin? I can't remember, but this is not a right playing defender.
No, he's playing
in
on the
the
wrong
National
side.
Hockey League. Yeah. But you want in the lineup or not?
He doesn't have the skill to play both sides. He's a one-side defenseman.
Or the confidence. I think the skill's got to be there.
Yeah, like
The skill
I
has
have
to
a
be
hard
there.
time saying Sandin doesn't have the skill to do anything. Like we've seen this kid do some pretty incredible things. It's really not there right now.
No, it's not.
And you know, in typical Leafs fashion, we're going to take a 5-2 victory. Did you have another one to play?
Yeah, I said there's 3 times. So
Okay,
I'm
three
three
more
pull up
times,
the
sorry.
other one. So the other one was versus a team we should know, the Pittsburgh Penguins. It happened during the Friday game. He's supposed
And he
to
whiffs.
go across, and he
No,
whiffs
that's a
on
giveaway.
it. He whiffs on it.
And that time, he's not trying to hold the puck in. He actually, what you see is he carries it across the blue line. And what he does is he stops. Now he's on his offside. He's a left-handed shot guy on the right, but he's got the puck and he's trying to cross it in the offensive zone. And I mean, here's the thing with him. It seems like right now, and this is what you see with non-confident players, like players that just do not have it, when somebody bears down on them. Like really confident players, if somebody bears down on you, you make a smart, quick decision. You either deke the pants off them or you move it on to somebody else. Guys that are not confident, if you just have a player skate directly at them, they'll fuck it up for you. And here's another couple guys I'm seeing it with. And again, we're poking at the holes here first, and then we'll get into the fact that it was actually a victory. And there's some great stories here.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Sure.
But 2 other guys that I see just in that position are Justin Hall and Alex Kerfoot. You know that the frustrating thing about Justin Hall is we know he's better. We know he's better.
See, I feel like he's actually figuring it out.
Fair enough, but
Yeah.
to this point, nobody, including Justin Hall, would say great year so far.
Probably not.
And there have been things like what was the Martyr thing, the what the fuck Halsey or something like that might have been.
Halsey, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's it, right?
That was funny.
Which is funny, but like it's just sort of when you're in that moment, you have to be so confident because you have a split second to make a decision. You have to be so confident that you just got to know that whatever your next move is the right one. And sometimes you lose that. The other one, and I want to bring this up, is one that blew everybody's minds last night. Alex Kerfoot and John Tavares on a 2-on-1, and or 2-on-2, and the Pittsburgh defenseman falls. Kerfoot's got a clean look at the net.
Why does the Pittsburgh defender fall?
Tell me.
Because Kerfoot made a fantastic move.
That's right.
And
He broke his ankles. And then he's like, you know what? John Tavares is over by the boards on a terrible angle. Why don't I pass it to him? And I know Kerfoot drives Leaf fans nuts. I do think there's use for him. I think there's been playoff series where he's been spectacular in his role.
Kerfoot, Tavares was in the middle of cutting to the net to get the rebound.
Right. And then
and had to be like, what
am I going to do with this? And that to me is a guy who just it's just squeezing it too much, right? Just squeezing the stick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that, podcasts like ours are on these guys so much. But the reality is there's somebody who has Kerfoot's got wheels. He can handle the puck, doesn't have much of a shot, but he does score 15 goals a year. He can bury that.
He passed this puck. I can't believe it. This is before he passed it.
And then the pass he sends to Tavares isn't even good.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh, God.
That's a shame. And look at DeSmith. Look at this. He has no idea.
No.
That's you got him right where he wants him.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And DeSmith's having a bad night, too.
He wasn't. I mean, no one. I don't think anyone.
Well, but what I mean is Kerfoot, if he'd just taken the shot, you never know, right?
It could go in.
You have a goalie that's you think Kerfoot's not confident? Look at the entire Pittsburgh Penguins roster at the moment. And so those are the holes you can poke in it. The reality is the Leafs won. Yay, that's great. And I think love Jordy Ben. But I also wanted to say this. I thought it was such a shame that Matt Murray didn't get to start that Saturday against the Pens, right? He got the adductor injury in warm-up.
Friday.
It was a Friday night. Okay.
Yeah.
A warm-up, he randomly tweaked himself in a warm-up, couldn't play, out for a month, but he does get the next start.
I see where we got crossed up. They played Friday against the Penguins this week.
Yeah.
He originally got hurt before
against
Saturday
the Senators.
Against the Sens.
That's what I meant to say. Did I not say that?
I think you said Pens.
I meant Sens. Sorry,
Pens,
my bad.
Sens.
Yeah. He was originally, he'd played his first game, and then he was going to play against the Sens on Hockey Night in Canada. Didn't get to do that. But he comes back against his other former team, which I love.
That was the first time, right?
Since Washington. He played Washington. Montreal?
No, first time he's ever played the Pen.
I don't know.
I don't know if he ever played them with the Senators.
It wouldn't shock me because he was so injured.
He only played
play a
like
lot.
10 games with the Senators. I think it might have been his first appearance back. Because I remember they mentioned they did a tribute at some intermission to him. They played some video, and so I was like, "Is this his first time back?" Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah,
and it's cool to see Pens fans there with his jersey. I saw one young kid who had his Leafs jersey too, which I thought was really neat.
That's cool.
Honestly, you look at that situation, and I think Matt Murray played well. There were some good stops there.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
There were a lot that trickled behind him and just didn't go in. So, things that can be improved on. But I really liked, if I can be an old hockey man about this, I really liked his battle. I thought he had a lot of battle.
Battle's real, man.
Battle is real. And, there was, if I had one criticism, I thought his movements were too big. There were too many instances where he was not in the blue paint at all. But that's natural. That's going to happen. He had a couple really big glove saves. He had a couple where he came across. And, yeah, it's nice to get a little help from your D. About time. So
good segue for a Manscaped ad.
Hey,
get a little help from your D.
Yeah, there you go.
I think.
I thought you were actually doing it.
No. I think it's. He needs a game like that to get things rolling. It got to feel good against Pittsburgh, in their building, and the Leafs played a pretty good, solid system.
Yeah, and a little reprieve this week too. They have a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday week. Jeez, they deserve it. After. Man, their first month and a half schedule is bullshit.
It's crazy.
It hasn't been good. So, and you know what I love? So, I am of two minds. They're top 10 in the league right now, the Leafs, in points.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're also, I think, one game above 500.
Yeah.
One or two.
Yeah, if you like parity, it's sort of annoying.
OT losses gotta go.
Yeah, they
something.
do gotta go.
No,
they're 9-5-3, so they're 9-8.
Yeah, they're one game above 500.
Yeah.
And where are they in the league, Jesse?
And they're only 7 points behind Boston.
League standings, they are 6th.
They are 6th place in the National Hockey League, and they have one more win than loss. Boo.
Yeah.
I mean, cool, but also boo.
Yeah, you should be 9-8.
Yeah.
Based on wins and losses.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
And this is the thing, is it sort of fools hockey fans a little bit because we're like, wow, we got three OTLs. They count. And they do count.
Yeah. Kings are one spot behind them. They're only two up on 500.
If we could compare and contrast, the Leafs are in 6th. The Islanders are in 4th. They're 11-6. Clean. No OTLs. Nope. Vegas, 13-4. New Jersey, 13-3. Boston, 14-2. None of them have OTLs. There's a clear difference between that and the next 4, right? The top teams, Boston, New Jersey, Vegas, Islanders, through the first 16, 17 games of the year, clearly ahead, far and ahead of everybody else.
Stars are only 2 games above 500. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if necessarily you should do away with the overtime point, but it shows how superficial.
Detroit's in 15th, and they are 7-11.
They're 7-5-4.
They're 4 games below 500, above middle of the pack. Above the halfway point of the league.
Yes.
The Ducks.
And the reason that is because there's so many teams running away with it.
Ducks won last night, but someone had a stat. They haven't won in regulation yet.
The Ducks?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they beat the Leafs in overtime.
All their wins are overtime. Yeah.
Oh.
They won in overtime last night against Detroit. They beat the Leafs in overtime.
Wow. It's a shame that doesn't count.
It's just a shame.
that's
the Leafs should have beat Pittsburgh last Friday.
Yes.
They left 2 points on the board.
They beat them this time. No, we're not going to be that show. We're not going to be that show. Or maybe we are. There's 3 of us. I won't be that show.
I think
you will be that show.
It's looked better for 2 weeks. It's looked better. They've been better.
Yeah, and like
there's lots to be happy about.
They're finding ways to win games where they don't look perfect. Like, I mean, against the Canucks, they went down 2-0. Against Pittsburgh, they gave up 2 goals in 2 minutes. And, you know, there's the Kerfoot thing, the Sandin thing. I think they'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, I've seen this.
Okay.
I've seen this so much.
Yeah. And listen, people say, don't live and die by every win and loss. No. I will live and die by every win and loss. I will feel better when they win, and I will feel worse when they lose. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, by the way. There's the calm down crowd out there. It's calm down.
What do you want me to do?
You don't have a choice. That's just natural.
No, listen, if you're going about your everyday life, for sure.
Right.
This is what we do, man. Like what? Hey guys, welcome to the Steve Dangle Podcast. It's fine.
Yeah.
Are you ready for 75 out of 82 games of? It's not a big deal.
It's so ridiculous.
I think as a fan, you've got every right to feel how you feel, unless you're absolutely obnoxious. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with being like, yo, they lost last night and that's unacceptable and they shouldn't have lost like that. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you are like flipping over desks at your office job going, fuck! Sandin, Jesus, get him out of the lineup! Yeah, I could see how that might be a problem for HR.
Home. Do it at home.
Yeah. You shouldn't tell people how to cheer for their team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you want to get passionate about one win in November or you want to get down on one loss in October, you have the right to.
And how's Penguins Twitter doing at the moment?
Or nuance.
Right, or there's nuance in it.
Hey, they did well. Here are some things they didn't. Let's go on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't tell people only be positive about the team.
Or only be negative.
Be negative.
Because, but the playoffs. Every time they win, but the playoffs. Well, okay, fuck. Well, then nothing matters. God.
With the bustling holiday season just around the corner, it's a perfect time to plan ahead with Factor, a ready-to-eat meal delivery service. They shop, they prep, they cook, and they deliver to your door so you can enjoy chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals during the holidays, minus the hassle, plus 34 meals per week, including gourmet plus, keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and 36 plus weekly add-ons. You'll have plenty of nutritious, flavorful options to choose from. Choosing food. So listen, the holidays are crazy. You might want to look into this. And again, Factor is cheaper than dining out. Plus the money you save goes to holiday fun and some you time too. And you could use that, right?
I like you time.
Do you like you time? What do you do with you time?
It's just play Red Dead.
I'm glad that nothing of Steve's U-Time has changed since 2018 when it came out.
Nope.
Head to go.factor75.com/SDP60 and use the code SDP60 to get 60% off your first box. That's code SDP60 at go.factor75.com/SDP60 to get 60% off your first box.
60% is a lot of percent.
It's a lot of percent.
It's a lot.
These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for the right team, for your team, faster and for free, which is pretty great. Now, if we were looking for a Steve Dangle, what do we do to find a Steve Dangle?
Type in big weirdo on your search.
So all you have to do is add your job and a purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you are hiring. Okay? No, nothing about what you said.
Oh.
Also, there's simple tools like screening questions. It makes it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills for you. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster and for free. This is great. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/SDP. That's linkedin.com/SDP to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Want to bet? You can do it at Sports Interaction. It's Canada's sportsbook. Every hockey, football, and basketball game at your fingertips. And at the end of the week, World Cup, baby. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Bet pregame, live and play, or one of the many prop bets. Made for Canadians by Canadians. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. Go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Got it.
Hey, I do have some good news.
Yeah.
Game Over Winnipeg is launching this week, guys.
Hey!
So we finally got it off the ground. We're very excited. Game Over Winnipeg.
Are they doing that so they can react to losing the Grey Cup to the Toronto Argonauts?
They just wanted to make sure that they got the Leafs game out of the way first, because nothing is better than beating Toronto. Nothing's worse than losing to them, and now they don't have to talk about it.
Honestly, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were right.
Also, Dave Bassel's going to be pumped because he's from Winnipeg. And
he's the host.
He is the host. Yes, Dave is not the host.
Dave is hosting Game Over Winnipeg. We're announcing that today.
So, Steve, you know Brady, the host, who I met at the tournament. Tell us about Brady.
He's bum.
Yeah?
He's bum. He's bad at fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing him in fantasy this week, and it's really tight, and I don't want to go 1-5. Shut up, Brady. No, he's great. He's flown out to the last two Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classics to be a member of Rachel's Raiders. He was one of our better players in both years. He plays hockey, loves a good chell sesh. Mm-hmm. He's also a ref. Loves to ref. So when I talked about the Leafs Jets game earlier this season where the Jets got jobbed on calls, and I knew a Jets fan who was both a Jets fan and a ref, and they were losing their mind, it was him. So if you're a Jets fan and you are also losing your mind, you can lose it with Brad, although they're doing really good right now, so I don't know what to do about that. You can lose your mind with him and also Lissa. Yeah,
so she, we got a little information on Lissa. Her favorite player is Pierre-Luc Dubois and Patrick Laine. She liked both sides of the trade.
Brad recently picked up Laine, even though he's on IR. He's a sick puppy.
Oh, yeah?
He's one of those Jets fans who won't let go.
She said, favorite thing about Winnipeg, I love that in Winnipeg you can walk into any building or store and say hello to someone after only 2 minutes of chatting and you realize you just know the same people.
Yeah,
I guess Winnipeg's like that.
I 100% believe that.
And she became a hockey fan. Growing up in rural Manitoba, it was always the thing to do. Backyard rink, hockey night in Canada on Saturdays. Hockey was my first love when the Jets came back in 2011. I grew into the passion and love for the sport even more. And the rest, as they say, is history. So you can follow him at Liz Howd. Sorry, Liz. On Twitter. And
way to sell the show.
And Brady, you can at NHL Chunky.
Yeah. Who leads the Winnipeg Jets in points?
Okay, I got to guess. Steve can't see that, right?
No.
Okay. Who leads the Winnipeg?
Blake Wheeler, because it's funny.
Adam Wild.
Neil Pionk.
Connor Hellebuck. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Josh Morrissey.
What?
Yeah, he's got 14 assists.
Man, he's good.
How many goals?
1 goal.
Wow, and he leads the team.
He leads the team with 15 points.
He's their Thomas Coberley.
I guess.
Just king of the assist.
Knowing that stat I would be like, so they're bad. But
they're really good.
Apparently
9-4-1, I think.
Wow,
Yeah,
good for
they're
them.
doing great.
Josh Morrissey just racking. He's a point per game. They've played 14 games. He's got 15 points.
Morgan Riley was smart to fight him. Get their best player off the ice.
Also, I am telling you that that Connor Hellebuck's going to win a Vezina this year. He's going to win a Vezina.
He's on the short list.
No, he's winning it.
No,
It's one of those years you can just feel it. Connor, the Hurricane Connor is coming in, man.
There was a goalie in Boston who started 10-0.
I'm telling you. Yeah, but Boston's a better team.
See,
you give it to the
relevant.
That is relevant.
Voters are going to think about it the way Adam is thinking about it. However, remember the dumb thing about the Vezina, the genuinely dumb thing about the Vezina. The voters are the 32 general managers.
That's right.
And they look at, all right, who has the most wins? Those three.
Linus Ullmark is 11-1 with a 936 and a 196.
Doesn't matter,
GAA.
trash. Not Connor
His
Hellebuck.
GAA is under 2.
His one loss was against the Leafs. Get wrecked, Linus. You bum.
Hey,
And Jeremy Swayman is ahead of schedule in his recovery, too.
I saw that.
So
Yeah, great
once
news.
again, the Bruins are going to get better.
Yeah.
Also, underratedly, Charlie McAvoy returned to the lineup and scored immediately. That fucking team, man.
Yeah, it's annoying.
They torch the Flames. Like, yeah, man, they look really good. They look really good.
Now, Jesse, there is an interview clip I'd like you to play. And this happened before last night's game. And this is one of those things that would drive the Don Cherry hockey crowd nuts. What do they hate? They hate tempting fate. They hate arrogance.
Right. Sorry.
And other things. But yeah, you're right. There could have been a better way to get into that.
Yeah.
But
Phrasing.
But the reality of it is that the whole thing in hockey is you don't say anything. You don't want to tempt the hockey gods. There's too much chaos.
Bulletin board material.
That's right. Now run this interview, Jesse Blake.
You didn't send it.
I sent it to your text message. Where should I send it? Email?
You just.
You're a bum.
Yeah. What should you do? You're doing really well, so say nothing. Don't want to mess it up.
Head down. Don't make waves. Get out there. That was good.
That was good.
That was
It's been a few years.
It has.
I'm impressed. And what does Jack Hughes do?
Oh, no.
We like this interview.
Oh, we
What
do,
can the
though.
Devils do to gain a little bit more consistency throughout those full 60 minutes?
I mean, we're on a 9-game heater. I'd say we're doing okay.
Yeah, except that is now outdated because the New Jersey Devils are on a 10-game heater. Woo!
I thought,
To celebrate, I got myself a New Jersey Devils jersey.
no
I
way.
am 100%. And by the way, my favorite New Jersey Devil, Andre Palat, who's not played much this year.
No
Yeah,
way.
baby. All right, so I just every time the Jets or the Devils win, I'm the biggest fucking Devils fan you've ever met now.
Oh, my God, Adam.
All right.
I love it.
That's right. That's right. Here we go. It's actually
Wow.
quite comfortable. This is the newest jersey I own.
The team Doug Gilmour is most known for playing
That's
for.
right. Actually,
that's such a good jersey,
My
man.
first jersey was a Doug Gilmour Devils jersey.
It's wow.
Yeah, my first ever hockey jersey.
The
There are a lot of-
logo's like shiny. They
I know,
did a good
isn't it
job.
nice?
Yeah.
A lot of Leaf fans
That's a lot.
roughly our age had a soft spot for the Devils because of Gilmour.
Because of Gilmour. But
Yeah.
and also Steve Sullivan, who was great when he came back in the trade. So,
For sure. Yeah.
Love that. So listen, let me tell you something.
I had
guys.
no idea Adam did
The
this.
New
No.
Jersey Devils are the hottest team in the NHL. 10 straight wins. And you know what the thing is? They do every little thing right. Their exits are perfect. Their
Oh, yeah?
their ins are they're unbelievable.
How many
And
Devils
it's a
games
good
you
thing.
watched this season?
I have been watching Devils games actually. And if I can't catch the actual game, I'll watch the game in 20 or
If you
whatever.
were Adam, wouldn't you?
Yeah, come on.
Adam's always been high on them.
I predicted them to finish where they're finishing. I said in our preview show that they would win 10 games in a row, and here they are. They did it.
There you go.
You know what pisses me off, though? They were talking
the
about
Flyers, the Rangers.
I know, yeah.
The Islanders. All other
The Devils.
Devils rivals.
No, what pisses me off is that so they win this 10th
The
game.
Newark Airport.
And yeah, the Newark Airport's actually pretty good. I've flown in there. What bugs
Ralph
me about
Cifaretto.
this is that they
In the
do
tunnel.
they've won 10 games in a row, and they can compare it to 4 other times where they've won 10 games in a row. It's like, well, they won? There was one season, I think, where they won 10 games in a row twice. Because the
believe it.
Devils, in the last 25 years, have been pretty damn good.
They scored 12 goals the entire streak.
What pisses me off is Leaf fans don't get to look at that. We have one 10-game winning streak ever.
94.
94.
Yeah.
Start the season. That's it.
Really? That's in the history of the franchise?
That's it.
Wow.
And the Devils like, is this better or worse than the time Martin Brodeur and Johan Hedberg did it in the same fucking season?
Wow.
Like, come on, man. It's crazy. Crazy.
Devils. I wish Devils fans liked the Devils as much as you do.
Stop it.
That's a very nice jersey. I guess
Isn't
I'm
it
looking
great?
at
It's
it.
a beautiful jersey. It's like
New Jersey, you got a great jersey.
Also, I like that they have a little bit of green on the inside
Yeah,
collar. Just
big
a little
fan.
bit of Christmas in there. 80s Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So, because they
Big
used to
fan.
call them the Christmas tree jerseys. Anyway,
Yes.
so listen. Devils 10 wins, 13-3.
Mm-hmm.
They
Can they-
started 3-3.
I know.
How?
I know.
How?
And if you go back to when Devils fans really got on my case. I think they were like 4-3 or something like that. And I said, well, it's early. And man, like they've taken off.
It's early. Don't worry, they'll get better. That's what you were trying to say.
That's
at the
exactly
time.
where I was going with it.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird. And I feel like Greg Wyshynski and all of his merry fans are thrilled right now. They have to be.
Of course. Lindy Ruff, Jack Adams, maybe. Like,
He has to, right?
well, because what is the Jack Adams trophy?
It's the coach that surprises you the most, or the team that surprises you the most.
Yeah, the team that performs better. We all thought they'd suck, but they're good.
See, that's interesting though. I want to say the hockey world was split between they've done zero to improve and they're the sleeper team.
But not this.
Well, everyone's awake now.
I don't think anybody had them winning the division.
No, and you're gonna lose at some point, unless
Maybe
you play
not,
for the Devils.
yeah.
So when are we going to Newark? Watch the game.
They still play at the what is it, the Prudential Center?
Mhm.
Is that what it still is?
I was trying to think of a Sopranos
Come on.
reference, and all I could think of was Christopher.
Chrissy's in fucking White Lotus.
Is he?
Yeah.
Last time I saw him was he did a tequila commercial
Really?
for something.
Was he Chris?
Christopher.
Was he Chris?
I'm loving all the there's this guy on TikTok who does immaculate Sopranos impressions, but he does it with updated like modern 2022 memes.
Nice.
It's called cancel culture, T. You go away for a while, come back 5 years later, win a Grammy.
That's good shit.
Anyway, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's go.
Hockey gods not angered. Devils continue to win. And by the way, it might be the reason that Devils might be immune to the hockey gods, by the way, is because they're the Devils.
Ah!
And a devil can't be put into that sort of
Yeah, the
category.
Bible.
Do you want me to email you clips or do you want me to text them to you, Jess?
Text works. It just didn't come through.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to send you another one here.
So we need to give some. We need to ask more questions. Steve, you asked it on the previous show when we brought up the Devils talk again. What the hell is Washington doing getting rid of Vitek Vanacek? He's been a large reason
And
that the
Ilya
Devils are
Samsonov.
good. But
It should definitely give the Capitals pause that their goalies went to two completely different teams and found success while they got the guy from the reigning Stanley Cup champions and they're not. It should definitely give them pause. Who's their backup?
in Washington,
Yeah. I keep forgetting. My brain will not allow me to remember. It's not Phoenix Copley from North Pole, Alaska.
Charlie Lindgren. Is that right?
Is the Capitals back? That's right. For some reason, I still think he's on the Blues. So who's the Blues backup then?
I don't know.
Damn it. I hate goalie musical chairs. It gets me very confused. Yeah, man, that's not a great situation. It's not a great situation.
There are some questions that need to be asked in Washington for sure.
Thomas Grice
Thomas Grice. Forgot about that.
and the Binner.
Yeah, no, it should definitely give them pause that they had a relatively affordable goalie tandem that would have gotten a little bit more expensive. Well,
Not really.
what I should say there though, well, no, because Samsonov wouldn't have played there for 1.8. He would have played there for his qualifying offer, which was more than that.
Which was not that much.
They still could
I
have
don't
tried to
remember
sign
what
him
it
after
was.
not qualifying him, no?
Did they?
They could.
They could, but it doesn't often work out that way.
Mhm.
It
Leafs tried it with Evan Rodriguez.
Sorry?
Evan Rodriguez was a Leaf for a hot minute, and they didn't QO him.
That's right.
And then they tried to sign him, and he was like, "Nah, I don't think so."
And he took a discount to go back to Pittsburgh.
Right.
That's right. So somewhat similar situation. But you look at how the Capitals did in net last season. You can forgive them for, wanting to change it up, but then they do, and their Stanley Cup winning goalie is struggling, and the other two guys are doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're starting to get to the root of the issue here, and it's not the goalie. It's everybody else.
It's okay. Now, do you lay it at the feet of the goaltending coach, or do you lay it at the feet of the management who did not properly assess the goaltending situation? And again, given we're a month and a half into the season, Vanacek and Samsonov could go back to their previous form, although I doubt it.
Of course. I don't know enough about their goaltending coach to say it's them, so I tend to put it at the feet of management. You got to be better at assessing talent than that. And
aren't the Capitals also a bit shocking on defense sometimes?
Yeah.
Like John Carlson is the king of bad giveaways.
Yeah, like Leaf fans are hard on Morgan Riley for kind of being that, and that's John Carlson in a nutshell as well.
What do you think the qualifying offer was to keep Ilya Samsonov?
$3.2 million.
Yeah.
That's what you guys think it was? It was $2 million.
Are you serious?
It was $2 million according to Cap Friendly.
Ooh.
Right there. The qualifying offer for at the end of the 21-22 season, $2 million. $200,000 more than what he signed for.
I can't believe
You should have probably held on to him. Samsonov, I think, is worth $2 million.
I gotta think the Leafs were shocked.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
That wasn't on my radar.
They were going to
at
bring
all.
back Hutchinson for sure.
Maybe.
Marincin, come back, play goalie.
Yeah, why not? He's taller. Let's go. Wow.
Anyway, I will be wearing this New Jersey Devils jersey on the podcast until the win streak is snapped.
Never.
So if they'll go 70-something-0 for the rest of the year, I'll be wearing it every episode.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
That's going to be you wearing that jersey.
And then every show, not every day. Every show.
No.
Every show.
It's that. Jesse and I will be begging you on our hands.
Why Andre Palat?
Because I love Andre Palat. I loved him in the playoffs last year. I think he's amazing.
Oh.
He's a bastard to play against.
Nico Heischer plays
I
there.
know,
Jack
but
Hughes.
Andre Palat's my guy. Andre Palat's my guy.
No.
Is
Adam
That's my guy.
Adam Wilde is. Are you ready? Grrr. Being difficult.
No, I'm not. I was raving about Palat all playoffs. I'm like, that guy's going to get so much money.
Being difficult.
Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
They got like 6 young players that are going to be there for a decade.
Andre
and you're like,
Palat.
Yeah.
Andre Palat.
There's all the most popular players, but this is my guy.
It's my guy.
Andre
Been my
Palat.
guy since Tampa.
Man,
Oh
can you
my
imagine?
God.
They're 10-0 and they're only going to get better when Adam's guy, Andre Palat, returns.
How long is he going to be out for? He's been out since like end of October, a couple weeks now.
He's, I want to say I heard he's ahead of schedule. Like,
That's because he's Andre
early-
Palat.
yeah, early New Year,
Yeah.
I think.
Not Damon Severson. No.
No, Damon
no.
Severson, actually, that would have been funny.
Why?
That would have been really, because we always talk about him on this show.
Yeah. So it's not funny. That's a great pick.
He has
That's the fucking Andre Palat.
I love Andre
Damon
Palat.
Severson has the strangest profile to discourse ratio in all of hockey.
He does.
Yeah,
It's always also Damon Severson is a vet. And people are like, oh, I wonder what that kid can do. He's like, not a kid.
He's
not
like
a kid.
28. He's 28.
Yeah, not a kid.
I was going to say 7.
Not a kid. Yeah. Anyway, Andre Palat's my dude. Go Devils. You know what it's all about. Now, we got the World Cup coming up, and it's Sports Interaction. 19 plus, please play responsibly. There are a bunch of bets
Ontario
that you can take. Ontario only, that as well. Listen, Steve, I got a question for you.
Portugal.
I
don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a few prop bets I wanted to run by you guys. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. You ready? If this is a crazy one, Alphonso Davies, most tournament assists, and so it's one answer. So if you take this prop bet, it pays 60. So you put $1 on, you get 67 back.
Oh my God. Okay.
So would you take that? Because you would have to then expect Canada to score a pile of goals, and make it probably through the group
So
stage.
wait, he gets the most assists in the tournament?
Yes.
Out of all players.
Most tournament
Canada,
assists. No.
if I'm not mistaken, not only has Canada not won at the World Cup, I don't believe they have a goal.
Well, they haven't played yet.
No, ever.
Oh, at the World Cup? I don't think they have. But that's 86. It's a little different. Davies wasn't born yet.
They have one appearance ever in the World Cup?
I believe so, and it was 1986.
Okay,
Wow.
that is okay. Here's what I'm going to do, just to invest myself in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
One toonie. I put
One
one
toonie.
toonie on that because it's funny.
Okay. All right.
Not because I think it's likely, though.
Alphonso Davies, this is a little bit more likely. Alphonso Davies' top speed in the tournament, and they measure speed during the game.
Speed.
Yes.
What's the speed?
And it has to be in kilometers. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter what the speed is that he is the fastest.
Oh, amongst all players.
Yes, he is the fastest measured on this because when
That's
he
a
goes,
fun
he
one.
goes.
Is that
So
what he's
over-
known for?
And it's by the way, it's in. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. Alphonso Davies' top speed in the tournament is it over
Yeah.
35.5 kilometers an hour or under?
Okay, so
And by the way, that means he can run over 35 kilometers an hour.
yeah, so humans like top speed, like 100-meter dash. If you like win a medal, you're averaging in the neighborhood of 40 kilometers an hour, and your top speed is like 42, 43. I think.
Mhm.
So 35 is fast as shit.
Alphonso Davies' top speed, because this is something they track in football / soccer. His top speed is 36.21 kilometers per hour.
And that's measured during a game.
Yeah, that's his game speed. His top speed ever is 36.21.
All right, one toonie.
You take that? Okay. All right.
I would bet that he tops. What is it? 35?
Yeah.
Was the number?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if his top speed ever was 36, you got to think that this is the World Cup. He's trying his hardest, and that he can get within one of that to hit the over here.
And I noticed he's tied with John Tavares' brother, Nuno, for 36.2.
Stop it. Not all Tavareses are related, Steve.
I don't know.
I think
There's a few Tavareses in Portugal.
Yeah.
Who does he play for?
He plays for
Who's Nuno Tavares?
Marseille.
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 And that's in the French league.
Yeah, but that
Champions
doesn't mean
League.
he's French, though. He's John Tavares' brother. He's also on the Canadian team. 'Cause obviously, John Tavares was born here.
Any Canada game finishes scoreless in regulation time. If you go yes, it pays out a 4.5. No, a 1.16. So that means you have to go the full 90 minutes plus injury time.
0-0.
0-0. I'm taking yes. I'm taking yes. On
No, I would.
that. Just one game to finish 0.
No, I don't want to root for that. I want to root for Canada to score every game. Sometimes when you're betting, you don't have a lot of knowledge. You just bet on what you're going to cheer for.
Okay.
That's how sometimes it just
All right.
to add to the fun factor of what I want to bet.
That's what I do. I don't go, oh, yes, this will happen.
Right.
I go, I want this.
And this
to
is why
happen.
you're taking $2, right? It's just
so
$2.
you get to root for the
Yeah.
outcome that you desire. So you said you can bet on both sides
Yes.
of that one, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I would take the no.
Any
This is
Canadian.
either a loony or a I just avoid.
Now, by the way, there's a whole page of this stuff. There's so many. I want to read just a couple others. Any player cries during the national anthem. Not just Canadian.
That's an
Any
easy
player.
one. That's an easy yes.
First game only.
That's an easy yes.
What? How do you measure crying?
So this is the Qatar-Ecuador game. The Qatar-Ecuador game.
No, sorry. First game for any team. Not just Qatar and Ecuador. I'm talking about any team's first game if somebody cries during their national anthem.
That's hard. Because you'd think they'd cry maybe in the finals.
I avoid that because I don't want to be like, yeah, cry. Cry.
In the first game, it's aggressive.
Cry.
In the first game, you don't want tears.
Cry. I
gotta
need
think-
money because you're crying.
Can you bet on both sides of that? Or is it just a yes?
It's yes or no. You can bet on both sides.
What's the no?
The no is a 1.16. Like 1.16.
I avoid that. That one's...
Canada conceded 5 goals in the 1986 World Cup. How many will the 2022 team concede? So it's Canada 22 versus Canada 86. Is it less than 5 goals, 5 goals exactly, or more than 5 goals? The highest payout is 5 goals exactly, 3.25. The other ones are a 2.62 and a 2.37.
More than 5 from me. And the reason is because they're going to go farther than the 86 Canada team. And the more games you play, the more goals you allow.
Jesse.
I'm going to say less than.
Less than 5 goals?
They're going to be out early, but they're going
You're supposed to be rooting
They're
for
going to be
them.
bad but good? Shut up.
You're supposed to be rooting
it'll
for
be tight
them.
games, but I don't know.
Shut your face.
I don't know how Canada's supposed to do, but I think the people who are smarter than I am say they're not very good.
You're a bum.
So what I've heard is
You're not very good.
that their best shot at a win is versus Morocco.
Yes.
That Croatia's getting older, but they're still super good. And that Belgium is on a team on like super on the rise. So the hope is that they can beat Morocco and then tie another one of the teams and then lose a game that they should lose against either Croatia or Belgium, but tie one of them.
1-1-1 and maybe get through on differential.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Okay.
That's the hope.
Look at me with my soccer.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other ones you can check out too. sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. This holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Everyone loves turkey.
What's he got?
Stuffing, but you'll never, ever go wrong looking like a snack for dessert with the help of Manscaped.
That was good. That was a good one.
They wrote it for me, to be honest with you. The Performance Package 4.0. I've told you about this before, but inside you're going to find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear, nose, hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold it all together, just like Manscaped holds you together.
More like 4.0.
Oh, that's not bad.
Are you giving him what are you giving him out of 10 on that?
That's a solid 7
That's a solid 7.5. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
all right.
It's good. It's good. Holiday things are usually cheesy, and that was a little holiday cheese.
No hygiene routine, and you don't want to smell like we don't want to smell like cheese, so you can use Manscaped's Refined Body Wash to wash yourself down.
It's quite good.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DANGLE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code DANGLE. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all. It's Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Balls of holly.
Steve, I know you've been looking forward to this.
I have.
The holidays are almost here, and there is plenty of t-shirt cheer from our sponsor, True Classic Tees.
True Classic.
Fellas, we got the perfect gift for you, Rich List. True Classic Tees has a gift for you. They're the gift for her and a great present for any guy in your life. True Classic is on a mission to maximize men's confidence by making them look good. Trust me when I say this is a gift that everybody will appreciate. They'll be looking at you and they'll be appreciating you. Okay. True Classic has already helped 2 million men look great in their tees, and now you can save big while you do so. Get 25% off True Classic with the exclusive link, trueclassic.com/dangle. And the discount doesn't stop there. You'll save even more with their site-wide sale. Support and show them and check it out, trueclassic.com, promo code dangle.
I'm on the site right now. What does it say at the top?
It says True Classic. Oh, no.
It says your name.
Congratulations. Your discount of 25% off from Steve Dangle will be applied.
Steven Dangle.
Stephen Dangle.
Oh, you're right. It does. Sorry, I don't have my glasses
Also,
on.
the sale's been extended. It's up to 65% off.
Steven, you're on TrueClassic.com.
That doesn't even say that on the script.
That's
Anyway,
so silly.
get 25% off at trueclassic.com/dangle. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. That's 25% off at trueclassic.com/dangle. Santa won't be the only one slaying thanks to True Classic.
That was quite good.
Again, they wrote that for me. And can we do a little shout out to Julian McKenzie?
Yeah, but why?
This effing article that he wrote for The Athletic about, I just want to shout him out because I think this article is amazing. You should check it out. The Kachuk-Huberdeau trade.
Yeah.
He did a full flipping breakdown, and it's crazy. He talks to Bill Zito, he talks to Brad Treliving, Brady Kachuk. I don't want to wreck it for you, but it's sort of...
What happens?
Well, I mean...
Brady Kachuk?
Sorry, Matthew Kachuk, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Andrew Kachuk.
Keith, and Keith's dad.
Bill Kachuk.
Hank Green.
You know, it starts with Matthew Kachuk's agent basically calling Treliving on the weekend and saying, hey, like, we're not staying. and then talks about how all the whole trade came together. I don't want to give it away. I want to make you read it.
Okay.
I want to make you read it. It is absolutely fascinating. And interestingly enough, there's a little SDPN cross here because guess who else is featured in the article?
Alan Walsh.
That's right.
Hey!
That's right.
How do you hook that up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. The whole thing is kind of crazy, and I want you to check it out. The other thing, sorry, go ahead, Jess.
No.
Look,
Steve's
you wanna
just pointing at the TV.
What?
Oh, there you go.
The internet's not interneting today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's something wrong with our screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's all right. My internet doesn't work anytime somebody uses the microwave. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah, it's a problem. I can't get good service here. I switched from one provider to a better provider. And I hate to admit it, but you know which one I switched to.
There's no better.
It's better.
No,
it's
they're
better.
all awful.
But
It is just another.
but
It's not better.
I feel like it's better. Look,
No.
thing's gone. Loading
It's
screen's gone.
If anything, it's good. It's not working.
Now, Islanders fans,
Just put up a picture.
would
of
you
it on
say
your
that
phone.
Islanders fans are forgiving
all the time?
all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you want to go somewhere else, they go, best of luck. That's what they do.
What about if you grew up in the area, there was a chance you might sign there because you're a free agent and you don't?
Just say what happened because I have a thought.
I'm going to read this quote. Johnny Gaudreau was confused, if not amused. It was Saturday night in Long Island, and every time the Blue Jackets winger touched the puck, Islanders fans at UBS Arena booed him. Quote, I was talking to my coach after the third shift, and I was like, I don't get it. I didn't talk to the Islanders once throughout the whole of free agency. Which is fascinating because everybody pegged the Islanders as a team that we're going to get them.
Or a team that would at very least be in on them. Now,
Right.
I believe he did speak to the Devils.
He did. He
So
did. And the Flyers.
There you go. So if Devils fans or Flyers fans want to boo him, go ahead. Flyers fans actually should be more inclined to boo their management for being like, actually, we want Tony DeAngelo instead.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know money. But Islanders fans, I'm going to defend you. Because all you can go on is your imagination. The reason all you can go on is your imagination is Lou Lamoriello is your general manager. And bro, I know that feel.
Yeah.
I know that feel. Nothing gets out that he doesn't want out ever. Ever. So all you have is your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't know if Johnny Gaudreau ever spoke to your team unless he tells you. Because Lou's not going to do it. But now, Adam, this is where I stop defending them. Because I know Islanders fans a little bit. And now, every time Johnny Gaudreau visits Long Island to play the Islanders, they have to continue to boo him.
Why? Why do they have to continue to boo him?
Not because they're correct to do so, but because it's funny and they need to commit to the bit.
They need to double down.
They have to double down and commit to the bit. They were wrong to boo him in the first place, but now, see, Johnny should have never said anything. They might have got bored of booing him, but now it's a meme.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Now
Also,
it's a meme.
They're kind of right, because if they never had a sit down, that means they were never even on his radar that he would entertain a conversation with Lou. It's kind of even worse.
See, you're extrapolating, though. He didn't say that. He didn't say, oh, I hate that hunk of shit place.
He said they didn't have a sit down, but the rumors were that the Islanders were in on it. So I'm going to just presume that he didn't even want to talk to them because they weren't even on the list.
I think it's far more likely the rumors were always horseshit because Lou Lamoriello does not produce rumors. They don't happen. He produces concrete shoes that fit you just right and Stanley Cup winning teams in New Jersey.
I think the New York Islanders reached out to Johnny Gaudreau and they said, hey, you want to come to our team? You want to sit down and have a little contract talk? You're a free agent. And Johnny Gaudreau's agent, who I don't know the name of, said, no, Johnny Gaudreau isn't interested. And that gives New York Islanders fans, every right to boo him.
As I wear this jersey.
Because he didn't even entertain a conversation, even though they wanted him. That's how I think it went down.
Okay, now,
I'm giving you a pass to boo him for the rest of your life.
I also want...
Oh, they don't need our
I think the
pass.
more interesting part about this is the deduction part. So if they weren't in on Gaudreau, who were they in on? Nazem Kadri. And
Nikita
they were
Soshnikov.
Nikita Soshnikov. And they couldn't get Kadri done. And that is interesting because Lou and Kadri developed a good relationship in Toronto. Kadri, I think, credited Lou and credited the coaching staff with a lot of his personal development in Toronto. It kind of shows how singularly focused the Islanders were on Kadri if they didn't even pick up the phone to call Gaudreau. And the fact that they didn't get it done is interesting. I don't know what it says. I do think it's interesting.
But the Islanders followed their formula, and it has produced success. Their formula is...
They're doing great.
Go after the biggest free agent center available, don't get him, and be one of the best teams in the league.
That's true.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
2 times out of 2. Works every time.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. They went out and got Yashin. They were dog shit. No. You got to swing it and miss. That's the formula. That's what you got to do. You got to swing and miss, and then you can succeed.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Something you should check out from the CJ show the other day. We were talking about the World Cup, and we just sort of, like, Chris has actual insights and stuff. We just go, what the fuck?
It's my favorite show.
It's such a good show. But what he said, I thought, he's like, listen, can you imagine a world where everybody got their shit together? And this is not CJ language. Can you imagine a world where everybody got their shit together and there's money to be made here? It's sort of the same point we were making, although he was far more eloquent about it.
Yes, he was.
I think the reality of the situation is the NHL continues to just not want to do this stuff. If they really wanted to do the World Cup, as I told you last time, it would be done in California or New York or Florida or Southern Ontario or out west with Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, wherever you want to take. You don't need to play games in Europe and North America to make it the World Cup. If it's the whole excuse about Russia, don't believe that. It's complete bullshit.
You can hold a World Cup without them.
You can first off, you can hold a World Cup without Team Russia. You can have the World Cup athlete from Russia like the Olympics does.
No, fuck that.
You don't need to play in Europe for this to be the World Cup. And I know you want to grow the game and accept all that stuff. I get it. If it's a bad time because there's a war over there, I get it. It makes sense. But this is 2 years from now and the logistics are a problem? Come on, guys. Come on. You're just putting on different jerseys and using the same ice. I don't understand what's different here. All these guys live in North America.
I was re-listening to our little rant about it, and I was listening to obviously the CJ show, which is absolutely wonderful for reasons outside of the World Cup. Even they were so good. CJ had some juicy shit on the Canucks. But I feel like I didn't get mad enough at the NHLPA calling the World Cup of Hockey the premier hockey tournament or premier international hockey tournament. Fuck off. You are not welcome. You are disqualified from the arena of adult conversation.
The PA called it that, or the NHL called it?
Yeah, I remember because I tried to bring that point up.
It was a joint statement.
It was a joint statement between
stupid.
Yeah, between the two of them, and their first line included the words "Premier International Hockey Tournament."
They're liars.
That was just a false statement.
They're liars. They every statement that comes from the NHL or the NHLPA is framed under the guise that hockey fans are fucking stupid. They think you and us and everyone who watches the sport is fucking stupid.
They might be right, but on this point, they're wrong.
Yeah.
We're smart enough to deduce this.
Hey, listen.
Right?
I do not think I am the smartest person in the world. I once put a paper bag of popcorn in a toaster oven, and I'll tell you how that went at another time. But listen, it was in 96, 2004, 2016, and best case scenario, 2025. Last time we held it, there were two countries that weren't countries.
And Chris made a really good point. He's like, Julian asked him, do the players care about this? And Chris is like, well, yes, but they haven't played it enough for players to care about it.
Right.
They haven't.
It's
not regular enough because it hasn't been built up. There, you had the Canada Cups in the 80s; those were a thing. You had the Summit Series in the 70s; those were a thing. But it has not been regular enough for this to matter.
It's not a thing. It's really not a thing. And like that little World Cup village that we had like way the fuck down the street in Toronto.
There's just the Canary District. They use the old Pan Am game facilities. It wasn't a village.
Where you can like, I don't know, there's like a dunk tank and like you can take
they
your
had
shot.
Stupid radio hosts host events there, like an idiot.
I went up on stage and hosted an event there. And
You did?
Yeah, and
were the fans stoked for the World Cup?
They were actually were. There was what, several thousand people.
Tell
there.
the story about your pants.
Now Jesse came with me because he was the producer of the afternoon show at KISS at the time, and I got up on stage, and then I jumped off to the front part of the stage to give something away to somebody, and then I jumped back up and ripped, and I realized that my very tight jeans that were hoisting my gigantic booty ripped right on the back. They rip right where they always do. If you got big legs, you know what I'm talking about, where you just like the crotch right up the butt. And I was like, okay, so that's great.
I had a shift that started at 8:30 in the morning at the Toronto Zoo, and I ripped my pants like crotch to knee at about 8:35.
Oh, good.
I was
good.
like, cool. So I'll duct tape these from the inside to get through the rest of my shift.
I ripped my pants at the Winter Classic. Do you remember?
Yes, you did.
In Hamilton.
You look so cold.
Fuck, that was that was cold. I
It was
dumb.
so cold.
Next time I'm buying a warmer jacket. I don't think I have a jacket warm enough to be in a game like that.
It's brutal.
If you listen to me, now. You go to an outdoor hockey game, snow pants.
Steve was like walking around like this, and I'm like, whoa, what an idiot. And then half an hour later, there was SDP fans throwing me like hand warmers because they saw how cold I was.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
You know that episode of Coco Melon where all the ants, they work hard to prepare for the winter.
That's right.
And then there's the grasshopper being a dick. You're the grasshopper.
I was a bit of a grasshopper.
And you're coming to me, the ant, and you're like, can I have a piece of those snow pants? But then you just freeze and die. That's not how the Coco Melon one goes. I think that's how the original proverb goes.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Coco Back in our day when we actually used to see the grasshopper die on on like YTV. Seriously. Anyway, long story short, it really awesome conversation between the two of them on that. Now,
Premier Hockey International Hockey Tournament. Fuck you too.
Yeah.
Like that all when you say something that insulting to my intelligence, all you're saying is fuck you. So fuck you too.
Couple more serious stories. The Boston Bruins released a statement yesterday. Paul, there will be an independent review of the Boston Bruins player vetting process. I'm going to read the statement to you, at least partially. The Boston Bruins strive every day to live our values, blah, 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 standards, fans, blah, blah, respect, whatever. Treating everyone with dignity and respect. As a part of this commitment, just go to the second paragraph because the rest of it, it's like whatever. Moving forward, we're committed to ensuring that our values are reflected in everything we do as an organization, including our process for vetting players. As a part of the commitment, the Boston Bruins have retained an experienced and respected team of professionals led by former U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch of the firm Paul Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison. There's a lot of partners in that firm to conduct an independent review of our player vetting process. This will help us ensure that our process going forward reflects our core values. The Bruins organization will fully cooperate with the independent review and will publicly disclose the results of the review upon completion. Now, what's been interesting about this is people expected there to be a firing at some point. And I want to compare and contrast how the NHL deals with things to another sport, Formula One. And this is a lesser known story, but I think it's interesting anyway. So in the middle of this season, we found out that Alpine Renault, which is the French team, they were trying to sign Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso, two-time champion, absolute legend in the sport, and some of the greatest quotes you've ever heard in your life. When Fernando talks about Fernando, he talks about himself in the third person. He talks about how great Fernando Alonso did today. It's kind of crazy. You just love it. And so they only wanted to give him a 1-year deal. And Aston Martin, the other team, came in and said, "We'll give you 2." And he said, "Cool, I'm gone." So what is Alpine to do? Well, they bring in a young driver by the name of Oscar Piastri. He's like their number 1 draft pick. They have been managing this guy's career. They've been investing millions of dollars in getting him into the older F1 cars that they still test drive with, in getting him in sessions with coaches. And they do these amazing simulators that they have in Formula One. It's incredible. And so he is ready to go. And they announce Oscar Piastri. And Oscar Piastri says, "I'm aware that Alpine has announced that I will be joining the team, except they're wrong. This is incorrect. I will not be." And everybody's like, "But you're under contract." And then the whole situation went before the board, the FIA. Turns out Piastri already had a contract with McLaren. And Alpine said, but you can't. You have a contract with us. You can't. Turns out Piastri's agent found that there was a clause in the deal that ended the deal on a certain day. Alpine did not re-sign him in time. They just kind of let it lapse. And they weren't aware of the situation, which is even worse. If you let something lapse and you're aware of it, well, then at least you knew you were stupid. If you are ignorant of your own stupidity, that's way worse. So we've just found out in the last couple of weeks that Alpine fired their head of legal, who has been there for 15 years since the team was was called Lotus. And so one messed up contract, the head of legal is gone.
Wow.
So compare and contrast that to the Bruins, sign Mitchell Miller. Okay, we're going to hire a law firm.
Right.
And it's so, listen, I'm all for process. I'm all for investigation. But I definitely think there were people who felt, and perhaps I guess I'm one of them, and maybe this is wrong, that at least somebody would get a suspension.
Right. Well, the Alpine story you just told, that took 4 months to get somebody fired.
Took 4 months, but the thing was, apparently that was gone. You're right. And it was gone sooner. It happened a while ago, and the only reason we know about it, because they don't usually do this, is that they're registered in England for some reason, and if you fire anyone in England, you have to register it with the government. So that came up, and the press found it. So it's a fascinating thing. But yeah, so you're right, Jesse. Maybe that's what it is.
There's still time. I don't know.
Don't you think there'd be somebody who's like, I do feel like there's got to be a little bit of like, nobody's taking a leave of absence here? Really?
There could be an adequate resolution at the end of this. See, I think the big distinction between the story you just told and the Bruins is there was a legal oversight,
right,
on the
Alpine side.
1 side.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think the Bruins overlooked anything in terms of legality. They just didn't investigate a player's past properly, past and present.
But it comes down to detail, doesn't it? Both. That's why I think the simulations. Listen, are they complete similar situations? No. But it just feels like an awful lot of nothing's happened. We're sorry. We didn't. What it felt like to me was, we didn't know the public reaction was going to be this bad.
Yeah. Well, Loretta Lynch. That's a name.
Sure is.
Not one that I'm terribly aware of, but I did see a lot of Americans in the mentions. Like, Jesus. Okay.
So they are serious about change.
I'm fascinated to see what they come up with. Especially because the situation is still ongoing. We don't know what the resolution is with this guy's contract.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fascinated.
Okay.
Fascinated.
The other thing that happened yesterday that no one, again, seems to want to talk about, there's been very little coverage of it, is Bob Nicholson was in front of Hockey Canada.
Rick Westhead had it.
Sure did. Now, I saw it on Sportsnet this morning, too, to be fair, but I'm shocked. I'll run you through some of the answers. Hockey Canada CEO Bob Nicholson says he only became aware of the 2003 sexual assault allegations against players this year on July 7th.
So I guess that's when the news broke.
Right. Now, he was the CEO and president from 2003 to 2014. He said he can't say how many non-disclosure agreements. Sorry, there is an emergency thing coming through on our phones here. Everybody's getting it. We have these emergency systems in Canada that if there's an alert ready or whatever. Anyway, long story short, if you're hearing buzzing, my apologies, subwoofer guy. Bob Nicholson says he can't say how many non-disclosure agreements were signed during his time as CEO. Doesn't have the number, suggests asking Hockey Canada. Nicholson says 2 of the funds were created on his watch, and he takes responsibility from an operational standpoint. Nicholson says 5 of the 6 NDAs that were signed during his time were tied to Graham James. Says the NDAs were signed to protect the victims. Nicholson says the other case was similar to Graham James and another referee situation, but he can't recall the details or the numbers, which I find interesting because there was only 5 to 6. So you would imagine that he might be able to remember that.
Also, do us a favor and come armed with that information. You're talking to the government.
Nicholson says the NHL is investigating, but he isn't privy to that. Says if one of the players from the 2018 World Junior World Junior Championship was on the Oilers. He would have to look at it very closely and make an appropriate decision, but adds that isn't the case. Hockey Canada's Pat McLaughlin says they spent $1.6 million on communication services from Navigator this year, but adds that wasn't public funds. So anyway, long story short, let's keep moving on Nicholson. The one thing we have to give credit for, because Hockey Canada was not good at this, you have to give credit for the fact that Nicholson said, "I'm sorry."
What a bar.
Yeah, I know.
What a fucking bar. You are correct, though. You are correct. The last batch of Hockey Canada higher ups that we heard from didn't seem that willing to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there not more of a pushback when he said 2 of the funds were made under my watch? Like, it feels like
2 of the 3.
Isn't that
he was in charge when they made these funds to pay out these cases?
Isn't that an enormous part of this scandal, that those funds exist? Isn't
He
that the
made
reason?
them.
Yeah, isn't that the reason this is in front of the government?
Exactly.
It's not. You all probably think it's because of the accusations and everything. And yes, that is the worst part of it. But a large reason that this is in front of a government committee spread over many meetings over many months is the concern that these funds were used to pay out settlements because of these alleged crimes.
The entire reason this got pushed in front of the government is because they thought they were using government money for all of this, and we discovered that these funds that Hockey Canada was funding through the registration money, that's Canadian. That's Canadian funds. That's our money.
Well, it's
using
tax
it to fund
dollars.
this. Yeah.
It's registration fees,
sponsor dollars.
That's kind of the
sponsor
main
dollars.
reason we're all here.
Yes, and he's like, "Yep, made 2 of them."
Yeah.
Feels like that should be a bit of a bigger deal.
Also, sorry. And here's what
Where's
they
the
said.
follow-up question
They said
on that?
Nicholson asked if having a fund to pay off victims, you are condoning behavior or institutionalizing it. His response was that he felt that Hockey Canada protected the victims as much as possible. So not really. This is from Courtney Theriault, by the way, from City News Edmonton. Nicholson asked what he says to women who were victims. He says it's not acceptable, and he hopes they find the courage to come forward.
Victims or alleged victims?
Ask what he says to the.
Does he just refer to them as victims?
I don't know. And then
There's no soul search in there?
and I think he didn't know about 2003 until this year. And he said that this is another one that I thought was really
2003 though.
He didn't know about 2003 until this year.
What did he know about 2018?
Well, he wasn't CEO then. So they asked him about 2003. That was the one. And he's like, I didn't know about till that till July 7th
that's
this
relevant.
year.
All right.
That's relevant.
Nicholson says that he was asked about in-camera meetings without notes being taken. So admits that there were too many of those. So too many meetings. Usually when you have meetings, there are notes taken. I think they call them minutes.
Yes.
And there were too many. He said there were too many meetings where we just didn't take any notes. And so this is
Keep it off the record.
so listen. I'm glad he apologized. He comes across as Bob Nicholson always does. Seems like a lovable grandpa type figure. But the reality of the situation is 2 of the 3 funds that we know about, because remember, they wouldn't come forward with, we found out about 1, everybody lost their heads, and rightfully so. We found out about 2, people were like, are you serious? And then we found out about a 3rd, and most people were like, I forgot there was even 2. There's so much layer here.
And wasn't it? Who was it? Was it Cootie Strang who said they're investigating a 3rd alleged incident? So there's 2003, there's 2018.
Right.
Yes, there are.
And
They
there's
are.
another one. Yeah.
So when was that?
Uh-huh.
And was it during Bob Nicholson's tenure? That's enormously relevant information.
I want to know if his motivation for creating those 2 funds was that he saw there's so many sexual assault cases and we need to hide this from insurance and the government that we need to make these funds. You know, did he see all this happening? And then if he saw that there were so many cases coming against players within Hockey Canada and they have to pay out all this money, why didn't he do something to change the culture and prevent it?
Well, he says that, again, I'll go back to what he said, which is there were 6 signed total. 5 of them were relating to Graham James, who was a coach that abused people.
Yes.
And they were to protect victims.
But no, those are the NDAs.
Those are the NDAs, yes.
I'm talking about money paid out.
Well, obviously, if you've got $7 or $8 million in an account waiting to be paid out, there's a reason to have it.
Right. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you actively try and work to change the culture so you don't have to create $8 million funds to pay out sexual assault victims?
I can give you the real
I'm not asking you to provide
the real
an
answer, but yes, why wouldn't you? I don't know.
That seems like a question I'd like to get from Bob Nicholson.
Did you get to this one from Rick Westhead? Liberal MP Michael Coteau asked Nicholson how many cases of alleged sexual assault came across your desk. I can't tell you exactly, Nicholson answers. How am I supposed to read that?
What I would like to know on top of that. So let's take that answer, take that question, take that answer a second. You ask that question over Zoom, somebody can say whatever they want. You ask that question in person,
I don't know how that wasn't an option.
that's a different answer.
I don't know.
I don't know either. There must be something in the law that allows for it.
Still, because the COVID rules still apply,
Bullshit.
so people still have the option to. They
Stop
haven't changed it
giving
back.
them that.
Yeah, well, it's
Take it away. You're the government. What else do you do? Do you think anybody's going to stop? Do you think for this particular instance, you think you'd have bipartisan support? You'd have liberals and conservatives holding hands and skipping down the hall together to do this. Are you kidding me, guys?
That's awful.
Get them in there in person. And I'm upset at the hockey world a little bit here. Listen, I know there was no bombshell allegation or bombshell revelations yesterday, although not great. There's very little on it this morning. Very little.
I mean,
there's very little coverage on this, guys.
He had a lot of time to prep, and I'm not surprised that nothing was really said to shake the world.
I'd love to know how preparation works for this sort of thing, because like, I don't know exactly what you're hoping to get out of this. Like, if you're hoping to get like a gotcha sort of answer.
I don't think you're going to get that at this point.
Well, I feel like it's wouldn't it be important for the government to be like, we're going to ask you this specifically, this specifically, this specifically. You have time to prepare your answer. But the give and take, so the give is you get time. The take is you need to come prepared with this information. How many came across my desk and I don't know? That's not an acceptable answer. That's a waste of all of our time.
Yeah, I think he's intentionally trying to do that, Steve.
How much are these proceedings costing taxpayers?
Millions.
And it's a waste. It's a complete
Costing
waste.
millions like paying out victims to keep them quiet.
Yes.
Also costing millions.
And like, if, that's Bob Nicholson is protecting Bob Nicholson, and it's hard to blame someone for protecting themselves, I suppose. Why is the process so flimsy and shit?
Well,
why?
And even if he is being as honest as he can be, where is the follow-up? Like, okay, Bob, well, since you don't know, go back and find out and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, hey, in 2 weeks, you have this meeting. We've known that this meeting was coming mid-November for about a month.
Yeah.
At least. These are elementary answers we're looking for here. And you just come and give us a nothing burger over Zoom. This is a failure. This is a failure on the process.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say.
I agree.
It's a failure on the process from all parties involved.
Yeah, he got away with it, like he didn't have to answer anything with a complete answer.
Yeah, like I'm not terribly surprised that the coverage has been unsatisfactory. He didn't say anything because he wasn't forced to. He wasn't compelled to. Yeah, man, it's a failure of the process. This is bad.
So anyway, that's how the hearing went. There was very little leading up to it. There will be very little afterwards. Frustrating. Not because I want anybody to be vilified. I think what anybody wants, and I'll speak specifically to myself, is you want to see change. You want to see contrition. Okay, he did say sorry. Oh, that's great. I want to see specifics. Did not see that. Want to see change. Bob's not going to be a part of that. He hasn't been there since 2014.
Listen, if you're sorry, prove it. Because we're trying to figure out how this all happened. where the failures are, and we can't do that unless you give us specific information. So it's a bit of a hollow sorry when you can't give us anything to help.
No, but that'll make him look bad. That'll show the faults in the organization that were happening when he was there, and he can't do that. So
he was there 11 years. He had a huge impact.
He created 2 of the funds.
There was obviously a need for it.
Should the name of the episode be "He Created 2 of the Funds"? Because I feel like that's
let's
we
not.
should
I don't
maybe
know.
be talking about that more. He created 2 of the fucking funds. He created 2 of the 3 reasons that we're here.
Like,
is this on?
When they
what the fuck?
When they found one fund, Bob Nicholson would have known in Edmonton. Oh, they haven't found the other one yet.
It's true.
And he might have already, if he created 2 of them, he might have known about the third.
Oh god.
Maybe the third existed, like predates him, but then he would have known about it.
Adam, what a fucking bullseye. What a bullseye.
At any point, he could have stepped forward and said something too. At any point. Hey, when I was there, this is the way it was. I'm not sure how it is now, but maybe you guys want to look into this.
We've spent 5 seconds on this and we're poking like giant holes.
Try to help, man. Try to help. Just help a little.
Whoever's running these hearings, you're not doing a great
government.
job.
They're limited by what they can do legally. I get it, but I honestly, like I said, you'd have bipartisan support to amend the rules. Get it done, guys. Get it done. I know there's like a flu epidemic happening right now. I know that there's a war in the Russia's invading Ukraine. I get all of that, but this is also important. You can walk and chew gum. You're a government. There's like 1 million of you. How many MPs do we need? What do you do other than bitch at each other in the House?
I don't care what else you're doing. You've committed to doing this. Don't half do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it properly. Yeah, no, it's unacceptable.
Okay. Well,
let's end on that real cool note.
Sorry, guys. We had to talk about it. You know?
No, he's speaking again today, isn't he?
Is he?
Is he not?
I don't think so. Not my understanding, but maybe I'm wrong.
What a nothing burger waste of fucking time.
Jesse, do we want to do press conference?
Sure.
Let's do it.
A couple questions.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
This is from Thug Gilmour. Question for Steve and Adam. Who has more assists? Doug Gilmour in the 93-94 regular season or Kerfoot during his entire tenure as a Leaf to date?
Doug Gilmour. He had like 90 assists.
Yeah.
145 points or something. This is like a ridiculous year.
See, I think that was 92, 93.
94, 95? Do you mean the lockout shortened year?
93, 94.
I'm going to say Gilmour.
Gilmour had 109 that year. He had 109 points or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Gilmour. For sure, Gilmour.
Doug Gilmour during the 93-94 regular season had 84 assists. Kerfoot, during his tenure as a Leaf, playoffs included, has 85 assists.
Oh, good question. Amen. That was a good question, Thug Gilmour.
Now,
that was great.
Did Gilmour get his playoff numbers in there too?
No, we're talking regular season.
Oh, that's poo.
I said it.
That's ass. So wait, for him, it's just regular season, but for Kerfoot, it's regular season and playoffs?
It's his tenure as a Leaf. I told you 2 distinct parameters.
Steve, I didn't have a...
You got
Jesse,
the question wrong and you're upset.
I want to be clear about you, Jesse. I got what you were asking, and I don't have a problem with it.
I didn't get what you were asking.
You're a bad loser.
You're
a sore loser,
bad
Steve.
questioner. You're poop.
Yeah. Okay. This
Poop
question's for Steve as well. It's from Jake. Jake wants to know, I love the figures and pictures that you have in the background of your LFRs. Is there any rhyme or reason to where you put them? Or is it just random?
Or is there a rhyme or a reason? Woo!
Come here.
Devils! 10-0!
Up top. Yes, there is. So above every picture, above every figure is a picture of me with that person. There's one exception. I don't think I've changed my Nylander picture yet. I still need to get a few pictures printed. It used to be 2. So I didn't have a picture with Nylander, so I just had a photo that I took of him at a Smash Fest event.
Mm-hmm.
Which is if you don't know what that is, it sounds awful, but it's a charity table tennis tournament put on by Dominic Moore. But now I got a picture with him. The other exception is Austin Matthews. I have several photos with Austin Matthews, but I have the photo of me with his parents.
Aww.
And the reason I have that is it's hilarious. In terms of where they are in the room, like if you're talking about the NHL wall, a lot of it is based on size. Like just what I think looks nice aesthetically. And if I have an opportunity to put people together and it's relevant, I'll try to do that. A lot of it has to do with color as well. I don't want to put like too many red jerseys next to each other. Like one cool thing I accidentally did, like I didn't realize until everything was hung up, is I think Luke and Braden Shen are next to one another.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, or like one is right above the other. A lot of the goalies are together because their packages are shaped differently. Phrasing. Yeah, there you go. Is that a satisfactory answer?
Yeah, no, I think you satisfied the question.
Yeah, there's like 80 figures in the room.
Are you happy that now you got like triple the amount of space?
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice.
Way better.
Steve's dollhouse.
Hey, you call it whatever you want. And there's a bar right outside it. There's a fridge. Operation Zillion Beers is in effect. Oh, it's great. Great.
What else we got, Jess?
This question, where I just lost it. Oh, there we go. This is from Matthew Brower. This is weird that did you bring this up because someone tweeted you this? But they asked on our Discord, would you ever bring Hank Green on the show? He's a huge hockey fan.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be great.
So what happened?
What was Hank Green going off on? Oh, so he was basically telling people. So Hank Green is very big on TikTok.
Explain who Hank Green is.
Yeah, he's guaranteed. If you've ever been on TikTok, you've seen him. I know he's on other platforms as well, but I want to say that's his biggest. And he and his brother have. They just talk about like science and cool stuff like that. They have, I think it's Awesome Socks and the Awesome Coffee Company.
Mm-hmm.
All the money generated from their socks goes to charity. All the money from the Awesome Coffee Company goes back to repairing the communities that it comes from, because a lot of coffee is extremely popular, and a lot of how it is bought and grown and sold and everything is kind of unethical.
Oh,
and damaging.
Yes.
So they're trying to combat against that. Anyway, Hank Green, very popular, says a lot of things that are very funny and sciencey and cool. And he was dealing with people in his comments like bullying other people. And he's like, don't be an asshole to other people. My whole brand is doing my best to not be an asshole. And then he followed that up with a tweet that says, unless you're Matt Tkachuk, fuck Matt Tkachuk. To which all of hockey Twitter said, pardon?
That's funny.
Excuse me?
That is funny.
So he, I believe, is a Kings fan.
Yes, that would he'd have to be.
Yeah, so like people were going back in his tweets from like 2014, and he's just like live tweeting the Leafs Red Wings Winter Classic because Jonathan Bernier was in it.
Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah, so fuck, if he would slum it and come on our show, absolutely. He doesn't need us though.
Just want to say the internet's not working right now, so we have this lovely picture.
We need to solve your internet. It got worse.
Well, the problem is from time to time it just stops.
Oh, so
like I don't know what the problem is.
Used to do this before.
I know, with the other carrier.
Yeah, so
I don't
think
understand.
The Switch made it worse.
I've got another repeater. I can plug it in down here.
Enjoy this picture of Sharon Govich.
Yeah, I got a devil's picture. So they can't see this. There's a devil's picture.
Oh, thank God. Okay, thank you, Jesse.
Jonas Siegenthaler.
Oh, good. Okay, that looks a lot better. That's a lot. Jonas Siegenthaler.
I think. Way to go.
Because they're the best team in the world.
Yeah, that's right. 10-0, baby. Woo! Since they weren't. Anyway, do we want to wrap it up there?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Listen, it's frustrating having the internet because why would it work? Ever.
Honestly,
it might be the area I'm in because I've never had problems like this before.
Maybe the line's literally under the street.
Oh, it's back on my computer. It's back. Yeah.
Woo!
Anyway, trash internet.
Go Devils!
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.